After 15 years, 332 episodes, and thousands of traumas, we are finally saying goodbye to ER. And tonight's series finale event kicks off with an hour-long retrospective featuring many of the show's stars.
That's the first tailored white coat I've ever seen.
Where's the hero?
Think he knows anything?
What people always tell me is that the show felt real to them, that the place really existed.
Get 5 mix of Epi down the tube.
I think people related to the fact that we represented people who were really trying to help other people.
It was breathtaking. It was magic.
All right, you do it. 7.0 EP2.
And there was so much going on ER that I certainly had never seen on television before. I don't even know if I'd seen a lot of it in feature films. The use of steady cams.
Action!
You could do almost an entire act of the show in one sweeping sort of solid motion. It was a dance.
Blood bank, come in. This is Ross and ER.
It was a great run.
This is Carol Hathaway, the head nurse. John Clark.
Hi. And a very inspiring show for many people.
After this morning, I'm not sure you'll ever be able to take her home.
I think it's time. Honestly, I think it's good.
Even if you do prefer football players.
Had your chance.
I was young.
I think that there's always a sadness, the idea that Stage 11 won't be there. And the great thing about TV is you can watch reruns for the rest of your life.
Not bad for a day's work, huh?
Not bad.
And Noah Wyle has been there from the very beginning. After starring in 254 episodes of ER, Dr. Carter is ready to take his last walk down the halls of County General. Noah, good morning to you.
Good morning, Meredith.
254 episodes. You were a baby.
Is that the
when
count?
You signed
I
to,
lost count.
Yeah, 254. You were 22 when it started, when you joined the ER. What's it like now to see this chapter of your life come to a close? How are you feeling about it?
Oh, it's, nostalgic, a touch of melancholy, but I'd have to concur with what Juliana said, that it does feel timely, that we told the stories that we could tell, and we started running out of ways to tell them again and again and again in any kind of new, fresh way. It's time to go out, especially when the show still has some teeth and some veracity to it. And it's been a tremendous experience closing it out. It's been very synchronistic and kind of perfect. I couldn't have scripted it any better.
I find it so funny that when you first auditioned for this role, you thought this show was going to bomb. It would only last a few episodes, and you were actually looking forward to that. You really didn't want to do this. You had mixed feelings about it.
I never wanted to punch a clock. I always thought that being an actor meant you didn't have to have that type of responsible, everyday 9-to-5 job. So I took one that went from 5 to 9 and stayed with it for 15 years. Yeah.
So why do you think the show had such legs to it?
I think it was a combination of events. We happened to go on the air in '94 just when Hillary Clinton had been given the task of revamping the healthcare system, so it was a very topical...
People were thinking about this
People
stuff,
were thinking about it. There's an accessibility about hospitals that where most people won't go to the White House or a police station or a courtroom. Everybody goes to an emergency room. But I think, I give a lot of credit to the writers. We've had some tremendous actors over the years.
And you said it was serious in there. John Stamos said the same thing to me. When you came here, you came to play.
Yeah, I think that we set a very high bar on professionalism. We didn't... you had to come in prepared. You had to not take yourself too seriously, but take the job extremely seriously. And we never lost sight of the fact that we had this huge audience that we'd garnered, and we had a responsibility to... for 48 minutes a week, entertain but also educate and hopefully steer the focus in a direction where may not have been given a spotlight otherwise.
Well, when I was on the set, the hardest thing for me was that medical jargon that you guys had to learn. Stamos actually wrote down a lot of his lines on his medical chart, and I heard that George Clooney, did he write them on the bed sheets?
Yeah, he'd write them on the bed sheets so we could look at the patient and
read that. But you still remember one of your medical speeches from Season 1.
Yeah.
Can you recite it for me?
Really?
Yes.
Oh, God. Okay.
Come on, Dr. Carter.
65-year-old male with severe peripheral vascular disease manifested by claudication of the left calf. 10 days post-op from Mercy General after having an aorta bifemoral bypass. Normal post-operative course till about 6 hours ago when he began to experience the gradual onset of lower left quadrant pain without palliative or provoking factors. BP 120/80, pulse 112, respiration 78. Upon auscultation, diminished breath sounds were noted at the base of the patient's right lung. Intrigued, I tested vocal firmness per Bates second edition, leading me to a diagnosis of pleural effusion confirmed by a radiograph which shows fluid in the patient's right costophrenic sulcus.
I don't know whether to congratulate you or think that's really kind of weird.
It's really sad is what it is. And probably not very healthy.
But I heard the number 22 plays into the fact that you were so good at memorizing your medical jargon.
Yeah, well, Eric LaSalle There was actually a little clip of it there, and the pilot was giving one of those long speeches, and he had just gotten the job, and it took him 22 takes to get through it. We got it on the last magazine of film that we had on the set that day. So for years, we would do this to each other. You don't want to make more than 22.
Yeah. Well, you're breaking my heart leaving. That's the best I can do with medical jargon. Noah, thank you so much. Such a pleasure.
Thanks for having me on.
The ER series finale event begins tonight at 8 p.m., 7 Central, with a special retrospective, followed by the 2-hour series finale here on NBC.